sharp on edge, that. I'm just gonna do a nice relax one, I know. Welcome back to the archive. I bet it looks like I'm getting hung in like one of those Victorian things. Welcome back to the house loft. Got it wrong. Welcome back to the archive. We're up in the house loft doing a little session, a little flick through of stuff that we've got up here today. So it's just going to be a bit of a glossary kind of video again. All sorts of variation up here. It's about 150 pairs or so, so it'll be a good little flick through. See ya. With my dad's favourite shoe being the Air Max 97 Silver Bullet, or one of his favourite shoes. Here we have the original 1997 Silver Bullets. They're in a bit of a tangle, bless them, so I'll have to open them over the box. It's a bit of a... So I got these off a shop called Dog's Foot in Japan. I bought a lot of OG stuff off there. I bought him these for Christmas or something, but they used to be in a lot better condition, but I've been manhandling them a little bit recently, so they've definitely suffered some deterioration now, but they're still brand new. So the OG 97 from 1997, if you look at your top left, you'll see the 97 at the start of this code here. That's where you read the dates on the old ones, because they're not always underneath, so you can read it from top left. Yeah, if I can. Yeah, so I was saying on a video a bit ago about they used to having gas, pressured gas in the soles. So there you go. So on your left side you had 25 psi, your right side 25, and the rear had 5 psi. But what that used to do, and probably what these have done, is it used to blow up. I mean they're so hard, those bubbles now anyway, but yeah, the gas used to blow up, so they stopped using gas, then they just started using air, and then they stopped using either or. But yeah, that is the OG, the one, the 97, in its purest form, still factory laced. Proper piece of history. And it's changed a fair bit, it's not changed loads. Shit. Yeah, not loads, but to the right person. Yeah, defo, if they want the original. It's a cool thing to have. I think I paid, oh, it was so cheap. I think I paid $50 for them. And when I first got them, I'm not saying they were intact, but you could get them out. I didn't have the plastic bag for them or anything. You could get them out and play about with them easy, and they wouldn't have failed at all. Right, whilst we're on the 97s, this is a women's pair. Dad really liked women's ones because once he'd bought all the men's colourways, he had to move over onto the women's, and when the 97 was hot and fresh, these might be early 2000s, maybe 99, maybe 2001, so back then they might have only been doing 10 colours of the 97 a year. So yeah, they might have done 10 colours for the women as well, so he'd snap both the men's colourways up and the women's colourways. So the actual colourway is light bone, cinder and white. Ooh, they are old. Lovely colourway. 2002. You've got the code still up on your top left, but then they changed it, so then they put the years. It's also on your bottom right now as well. That's the actual full dated code, that probably the production date of them, whereas that just gave you the rough year, the 02 at the start. But yeah, now they show the production date and then the release date on them. Yeah, nice colourway, really really nice. You must have enjoyed that pair, because they have been worn a little bit, not loads, but they have been worn, but they're gone unfortunately. That rear bubble is solid. Ooh, there's a bit of flex to it, but yeah, look at that. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Which is expected. It's a 23-year-old Air Max. They, some we can save. You'll see a pair in here that's 20 years old and they'll be absolutely fine, and some just seem to go. I don't think I've really done many 97s yet, so whilst I'm looking at them, I will do a little run of 97s. Oh no, they're fully gone. Damn. So white, and metallic silver. Women's again, I think. No, men's. But look at that. Bang, bang. 2002 again. Nice though, all whites. I've never even seen those. Ooh, with the translucent sole as well. Oh, they're mega. I don't even think he'd worn them. Oh, that one's not. Oh, it has. No, I don't think he's even wore them. Still got the icy soles on them. 25 years later. Sorry, 23 years later. Yeah, another set of fallen soldiers, unfortunately. Nice to have though. Oh, I'll do a pair of riffs. The riffs came back a few years ago. I think they might still be lingering about. Old Aspecto sticker. Don't see that anymore. So rift leathers. We have done some riffs, I think. I can't remember. Well, we'll do them anyway because they're a lovely pair. So with the old riffs, it's a split tongue. Sorry, it's a split toe design. So obviously, a conventional sock wouldn't work in the riff. So Nike used to give you a set of matching socks, camel toe socks. Everyone used to call them camel toe shoes. So every riff that you got around that period of time, you got a matching, if not sometimes two. You regularly got two. I don't know if you wore the other pair of these, but yeah. Matching sock to go with the riff, so lovely like bone kind of colourway with like a dark olive stitching. Nice stitching on the leather details there. Unfortunately the cage has snapped on them. So there's usually a cage round here. What that'd loop through and come back on itself, but the cage, just like on the rear, the cage will have got brittle. See, isn't that funny? Oh, that funny. Yeah, there you go. All those plastics soon get very, very brittle. You probably couldn't even fix that. But you could wear them open anyway, you can swag them open if you're a big man ting. Yeah, that's the only thing with keeping things that are this age. I don't disagree with people when people say wear them. I always told my dad to wear them, but he had too many to wear, or he was too busy or too paranoid about wearing them and ruining them. And now some of them are perishing, so yeah, wear your shoes, people, because they don't always last forever. It's all well and good talking about them, but it'd be way nicer if we could wear them all. Do an Air Force One. There's hardly any in the collection. I had most of them when I was younger. Air Force One Premium Parker. So this is a players pack. These are a Foot Locker exclusive players pack. $69.99. What's the Air Force One now? $104.99 I think. Last year, so I'd say it's 105 quid now. That's for a basic as well. That isn't a leather upper. You wait till you see these. Come with a card. I don't know if you can see it well. There's like a Air Force One behind it and like a hologram. You kind of can't see it, but so there's your man on the side, Parker. Each player had a decent bit of freedom to be able to design whatever they wanted. All the players had their faces on the side and then they chose what they wanted to do. So he's had his face in silver, tumbled leather, suede, ice blue, say midsole, but then black outsole, which I think is sick. The fact that he didn't use the full ice all the way through, so that to me is like the dream. An ice sole for me is I love an ice sole. I never want to wear them because the bottoms of them, as soon as you wear them, they go horrible and yellow and they just look crap. I'd prefer to have a black sole or a plain sole. Ice blue mid with a black out, just sick. Yeah, really, really nice materials, proper premium. 2007 this set came out. You've got him on the inner sole as well. Even balling with a Nike ball as well. Sick. These were limited. I can't really remember to what numbers they were limited to. I know they weren't crazy rare. They did okay. It's definitely a collection that people like seeing now. He had a few of them and don't really know where they've gone. I don't know if he wore them or... I don't really know, but yeah, you get metal lace tips with tiny little stars on them. I don't even know if you can see that. Yeah, and they were bought for 30 quid. It's faded. You might just be able to make it out. And they did come with like a big player key ring, but someone's obviously eighth-inched it out of here, probably me when I was younger. They come with like a big metal key ring with his face on, which is sick. 30 quid, so good. I'll never let go of them, just because, well, they're just so iconic anyway, and I think that's such a nice Air Force One. If I was to keep one Air Force One for the rest of my life, I'd be comfortable to say I'd take that. Not even a red laces guy at all, but I think the red laces look sick in them as well. Even the shape, because it's a nice suede toe box. The paper as well had all these little stars all over it, just like what's on the lace tips. Really well thought out collaboration. This isn't the OG box. Should have an Alpha Project box like this, silver box, because they are part of the Alpha Project 2. These are the Sesamic, I never really know how you say it, but they are from, I think, 2000. Yeah, 99/2000, part of the Alpha Project. So the Alpha Project was like an innovation project between a few heads at Nike in the early 2000s, where a lot of the designers just had full freedom to come up with new silhouettes, new designs, and all sorts of stuff. So this was a one-piece upper, no tongue to it. You've got these veins that are very reminiscent of the TN. Got quite a TN upper. Well, if you wait for it, it has actually got a Zoom Air sole unit in there, which again, similar logo to the TN. ZM meaning zoom and TN meaning tuned. Yeah, I'll show you. You might be able to. You probably can't. Yeah, you won't be able to see it. Can you get that well where it says Alpha inside of the tongue? You probably can't see it because it's tucked well in there, but yeah, it's hard to see. Yeah, great design. It's mad. Geometric sole on them, proper futuristic. Even now with like the splash wiggle on the unit, it's meant these would have been clear before obviously, but with that being 26 years old, but everything else has kept. The rubber on the veins has kept really nice. It's not sticky, it's really supple, it hasn't cracked. Rubber at the front kept great. They've been worn, so that's always a bonus. For pairs keeping a lot better. If that sole has been flexed at some point in its life, then it always keeps a lot better. If it's just fresh and then you put all that pressure on it, they usually tend to go. Really rare. There you go, zoom there. 5 dots here represents the Alpha Project. So if ever you see those with minimal branding. And the part of the Alpha series, Alpha Project. Like we've got these here. That's a proper Alpha box, so it's like the OG box, but to make it different, they curved it on the top. Instead of having the Nike logo, you've got the 5 dots, and then it's obviously silver and brown as opposed to orange and brown. And the bottoms are, yeah, pretty much the same. That's the sides, again, we've done the straight here, gone for the arc on that. Bought from the outlet for £24.30, which is so random, but they were 70 down to 40 and bought for 24. And these are the I've forgotten which ones you call these. We've got the fire somewhere and the ice somewhere else. These might be the ice, I can't remember, but again, part of the Alpha Project, so cool as little Nike logo on there. These were from probably around the same year, yeah, 2001. Got your 5 Alpha dots, which I think they're just on the Presto anyway, actually, to be honest. I don't know if that is to do with Alpha, but it's cool that they've got it on there if it isn't. Yeah, I love the Presto. Again, one-piece upper, and they used to size the Presto in like men's clothing sizes. So if you can see, it's an extra small. And an extra small is a UK 6 to, in women's, a UK 6.5 to a UK 8.5, or in men's, they're a 5 to a 7. That's because they're so stretchy that, like, all of that front, I don't know if you can see, but this all moves. You'd be able to move this quite a bit, just like a sock really. It's kind of what it was based around. The cages usually tend to go, so I'm not going to wobble those too much because these can crack. But you can wear them without laces in, no problem at all, because they don't need laces with there being no tongue and it's all built in. Burgundy sole, Duralon, and the BRS 1000, which is Blue Ribbon Sports 1000 cushioning. Wicked pair. That's what it tells you about the Presto. Presto running course, simply irresistible summertime comfort for runners, a t-shirt for your feet, which is why they've done them in the sizes what they had basically, because they advertise it as a t-shirt for your feet. So I think it's a cool idea. It was different at the time. Dynamic stretch mesh allows for sock-like, ultra comfortable fit for a variety of foot shapes and sizes. Nowadays they don't do that, they just size them accordingly, because I think it kind of worked. I think in today's market with the popularity of products, you just can't really do that. People would kick off now if you were to do that. They put that in 2 size bands, just like a pair of socks. Some people, they wouldn't fit right. And I remember having pairs where if I went for the medium, they were absolutely massive. And I would have needed like a small medium, but they never did it. So the sizing didn't really work, but the actual feature of it, I think it's really cool. With Nike Air, lightweight, file-on midsole and a cushioned Duralon waffle outsole. Engineered support gauge provides mid-foot security and custom fit. Okay. Nike Alpha Project. Imagination meets technology. So it's pretty much as I described it. They all got really imaginative, had good grips on the technology that was available at Nike at that time and went for it. Yeah, no fake too. Ah! Bye. Yeah, do you want to get it? I'm going to pull them off.
Alright.
Ooh. Just making a mess now. Put them shitters back over there. Shox R4. These are a women's pair in Marina, and Met Silver. So probably we've got a couple of OG Shox, about 4 or 5 pairs. And these are one of my favourites out of the lot, because you never see this colourway. This is the first time in here, it's the first time I've seen this colourway. The Shox was relatively popular back then. The full Shox definitely took off for alt chavs and alt badmans at that time. Yeah, my dad used to prefer the R4, just the rear Shox. He wasn't a fan of the fulls. I still got the OG paper in it. Sorry, that'll be a bit loud, I just want to give him a bit of shape. There we go. I just think that colourway, I think anything sky blue seems to get me anyway, but the units and then the swoosh, and that would have been clear before as well. Yeah, really, really cool pair. Had been worn as well, had been worn a few times by the looks of it. Probably wore them because all the men will have been wearing the original silver colourway or the black and silver colourway. So when everyone was wearing them and he will have wanted to wear them, nobody will have gone for the women's ones, so that's why he went for the women's ones and wore them so much, because he will have been annoyed that everyone was wearing them but he really wanted to wear them. So he always used to do things like that. Look at that, where it's fogged up a bit. There we go. Yeah, and I wouldn't really say that's a women's colourway, to be honest. I think the baby blue slightly, but with the darker navy I wouldn't have said so at all. From 2002, 23 years old, and the sole's kept pretty much perfect, as he always used to do, rocking them with the with the arch supports. Obviously that's not sticky anymore. It's 23 years old. But I'll put them back in because that's how they were. It's really not going in. Christ almighty. Oh, fucking get out. It's a bloody mess. It's like a mouse has been in here. Bought some Foot Locker used to do their own laces. Obviously bought them from Foot Locker and bought that baby blue lace to go in it. It's a pretty nice lace actually. Tubes, in fact I'm going to have them. Again, just like in the Alpha project, you get a bit of information about what the shoe actually does. Because the shoe was made for running initially, you get a breakdown of what materials are used, talking about the columns and the springs in the columns and stuff like that, so really cool. For the neutral runner seeking maximum responsive cushioning, Air Max 95, Baroque, brown, red and khaki. Bought from some kind of outlet by the looks of it. Not what you'd be getting today. Such a good shoe. Look at that, look how clear that bubble is. They've got to be one of the clearest pairs left in the world. I ain't even touched that, I ain't rubbed it with a cloth, I ain't done anything to it. That's exactly how it's just been found. Same with this one, is that as clear? Yep. That one could do with a little rub, but look at them. Talk about big bubbles, that was just a standard back then. I'm guessing 03, but I think it is. Yeah, 03. So it wasn't called a big bubble then. That's just how it came. It's nearly swelling out at midsole, it's that juicy. So sick. Even materials on those. It's like textured leather for your lower panels. Suede on your uppers. Mesh here. And it's really nice, you can hardly see it. Really nice, like jersey mesh, just slipped in behind the lace loops. Everything's tonal on them as well, so tonal lace loop, laces, tongue mesh, and then you've just got that burnt fiery orange in the logo at the top, which matches the rear swoosh and matches the logo. And obviously the air unit, that's a burnt orangey. I don't know if that'll pick up on the camera, but that's like a burnt orangey colour. I believe he'd worn them. Yeah, he'd worn them quite a bit actually. No nipples on that top section. That's probably what saved him. It's got some right juice in it. You could say still wearable. Look at that, flexing brilliantly. Let's try the big dog. Yep, nice. Yeah, so good. How clear they are. That is mental. 22 years old, Air Max 95. Look how sick the 95 was back then. How just nice, just a standard GR colourway. Nothing fancy, no quick strike, no LE, nothing. Just an Air Max 95. That'd be coming under 100% under a premium nowadays, and it'd be costing 200 plus quid. And that will have been £109.99 back then. So sick.